What's up, goodies? Welcome back to your girl channel and to my kitchen. How to cook here with a collaboration. Yes, boo. None other than my girl Chel's home style kitchen. And we are about to turn this thing up. How to cook seafood lasagna in your kitchen. Fast, easy, and simple. Now, if you're here watching me cooking for your first time, be sure that you have subscribed. If you have not already, go ahead and do so. Then turn on the post notification settings to be reminded every time your girl upload what? A brand new video. Make we jump right into the recipe. In my eyes, you're a star, girl. Hey, she fit me, and she give me love plenty. Yeah, she authentic. This are the real thing. This are the Okay, goodies. So this collaboration video is with my girl Chel's Homestyle Kitchen. Be sure to subscribe to her channel. All her information will be down in my description box. And we are going to cook this seafood lasagna. Okay, now so let's get started. Now I'm using my seafood mix right here. I'm gonna buy this inside of the Aldi supermarket. Now you could use whatever sort of a seafood that you like. You could go with just shrimp. You go with crab meat, lobster, whatever you like. But I in fact love this seafood mix, and I've used it for soups and stews and different types of things. But go with whatever suits you, right? But this is the one that I'm using. I just love it, love it, love it. Now you're going to also need your lasagna noodles. You also need some cheese. I'm using a little bit of sharp cheddar and mozzarella. I'm also going to go in with some cream cheese as well. And you could always substitute your cheese of choice. Definitely some onions and butter. And I'm using frozen spinach. You could use fresh. But I'm making this fast, easy, and simple. So that is what we are using here. Now you're also going to need garlic. And I've added a little bit of red bell pepper. You need flour. And also I'm going with some fresh parsley. What else? Chicken broth, heavy whipping cream, and some alfredo sauce, right? That is what we're going to use here. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to put everything down in my description box so you can go ahead and check that out there. Now these are my seasoning of choice, and you could always turn these around however you want to, but the Old Bay season and the Cajun season is optional, but I'm going to use the Old Bay season for sure. Now you need garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper, and I'm going to go in with my combo season. I could go to everything, tad bit of salt, apple cider vinegar, add pepper sauce for sure, and my all-purpose season. And again, you can substitute whatever you like. Now to get started, I have my pot here on the fire, and I'm going to cook my lasagna pasta for only 7 minutes only. To that water, I added some salt, a little bit of salt, because salt I cut down in my kitchen like tremendously. You go ahead and you add your lasagna pasta into the hot water. Make sure your water is nice and hot. Do not put it into cold water. Allow it to bubble for 7 minutes only. Okay, now after 7 minutes you are going to remove it from the heat and let it run under cold water, and so the process will stop cooking. After all of that is taking place, this is what your lasagna pasta should look like. It should not be soft. It should be nice and holding, but be able to fold perfectly, just like that. And you go ahead and you sit that aside and wait for the rest of things then. Now, what I'm going to do here with my seafood mix, I'm going to go in and we're going to chop these bad boys up into smaller pieces, because I do not want it to be chunky into my seafood lasagna. Okay, so all I'm doing here is just chop it up with my knife just into smaller pieces. And again, like I said before, you could always substitute what I'm using here for any kind of a seafood that you like. But I did go in with mussels and all that other stuff, but you can substitute it, right? And everybody like mussels and them something there. Okay, goody. That looks good. That looks good. I don't want it any smaller. So now we're going to season this bad boy up. So I went in and added my frozen spinach and my cream cheese to the mix. Then I went in with my mozzarella cheese, and you could substitute that for sure. Added some black pepper because we're giving this thing flavor. Flavor we are chat about, right? Then I went in with my onion powder and my garlic powder. So you're gonna add them two as a combination. Don't skip that. I love my combo season, so I went in with that. And of course, we're doing seafood, so I went in with the Old-Bay season. Not too much because the Old-Bay season I have too much salt. I really like it, but I'm gonna use it. Of course, I am in love with my all-purpose season, and not because I'm Jamaican, I just love it. And I'm gonna add some creamy alfredo sauce to the mix, right? So I'm giving this a really good combination to make sure that the cream cheese is well blended out thoroughly through and through the mixture. All right, we don't want a lumpy on the in there. We're gonna make everything nice and smooth and combine nicely. And when it look like that, I'm gonna just move on to my next step. Now moving right along, in a pot we're going to get our sauce ready. So I added a little bit of oil. I'm using extra virgin olive oil, and then I added a stick of unsalted butter because it got a tone down from the salt business. Then I added my chopped garlic to it and allow it to come to a melt. Then added the flour to the mix. Gave it a good mix and a spin. Definitely do not want any lumps here, because when you have lumps in it, it's very hard to get rid of. So you want to continue to mix and spin thoroughly. Now after about a good 30 seconds of that, we want to go ahead and add our chicken broth to the mix. And I think I added about a cup of the chicken broth to it, and all the amount for the recipe will be listed down below, so go ahead and check that out. Everything will be down there. Okay, now I did transfer and I used my whisk, and we are going to whisk this thing into shape just like that. You see it come nice and creamy and thick. Perfect. All right, now after I did that, I went in and added my heavy whipping cream to the mix, and that is going to bind everything together. You just want to keep stirring. That is coming along oh so good, oh so good. Now after that is all said and all done, it's time to add our other ingredients to the mix. So I went in with my chopped onion. Then I added just a tad bit of that red bell pepper and gave that a good mix combination. Let's mix it all in. Now we are going to spice this thing up and give it flavor, right? It's all about flavor in this seafood lasagna here. Okay, to give the sauce more flavor, I added a tad bit of salt, lightly added a tad bit of salt, and then I put some black pepper to it. Then I added some garlic powder and as well as some onion powder, right? Because we are talking flavor now. I did go in with the Old-Bay season, but you can add the Cajun season to it. But since I'm doing seafood, we're going to go in with the Old-Bay seasoning. As well as make I add my regular Jamaican thing to it, which is my all-purpose season, and I'm using the Grace brand because I love my Grace brand, and I'm using my combo season because crazy in love with my combo season. And of course, the girl now leave over to our apple cider vinegar and some Ochoreo's hot pepper sauce, honey. I love me some Ochoreo's. I'm like obsessed with Ochoreo's product, and I'm not promoting their stuff, but it is what it is. It is good stuff. Now I'm gonna go in and give it a good mix combination, and be sure to taste your sauce just to make sure that it is just the way that you like it. You might want to add something else to it, but make sure give it a good nice taste just to make sure that is in fact the way you like it. Okay, Now to that, I went in and added about a handful of that cheese, and I'm using mozzarella because I love mozzarella on everything, but you can also change that up and add any kind of cheese where you want to add to the mix. And that is looking a-okay. You want to shut your heat off. As soon as you add the cheese to it, you turn the heat off and let it mellow out and move on to your next step. Be sure that your notifications are on, guys, so you won't miss an upload. Moving right along, it's time to combine this thing and pop it in the oven. So the first thing you want to do is go in and add your sauce to the bottom of your baking container, and then you add your lasagna pasta to it, and you want to overlay it when you add it into the baking container, just like so. Now my baking container is not very big, well, not very long, so I had to fold mine at the end, but you don't have to cut it if you don't want to, but you can cut it for sure. But whatever you do, you make sure that you are overlaying on every single roll. Then I went in and added that good seafood mix right there. And then I added a tad bit of the sharp cheddar cheese, not too much. And then I also went in with the mozzarella. And again, you can also always substitute for whatever you like. And then go in and then pour that good on top of that. Okay. Then you continue to do the same thing, which is putting your pasta all up in that thing, your lasagna pasta, and overlay on every single one. And I don't know if I mentioned earlier, but I did use a total of 12 lasagna pasta for the recipe. That looks a-okay right there. Now I'm gonna go back and put some of that good again on there and smooth it out because this is the last layer. Went in again with my sharp cheddar and the mozzarella. And guys, the sharp cheddar is just what I love, but you could use whatever you like, right? It's all right. Then you go back in and put that good right there salt and lay it on up in there again, just like so. Now, I did decide to cut the top, but I'm not going to discard anything I'm going to cut off. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with it. But just to make everything nice and neat on top, because this is the last layer, I did go in and that's cut the ends right there. And then all I did was lift up the noodle and just put it right underneath. Just hide them. Because when you cut into that thing, ain't nobody gonna see that stuff. So just go ahead and just tuck it all up in there. Then you want to go back in and lay your final good right there salt on top. That good sauce. Put your cheese of choice on top like I'm doing here. And I did leave some of that red bell pepper to garnish, right? Added my parsley on top of that good right there, honey. Talk to me nice, goody, talk to me nice. Sprinkle just a little bit, just to get a little color of that orangey yellow thing, and there you have it. My oven is set to 325 degrees, and this seafood lasagna is going to take about 45 minutes to bake. Uncovered only goodie, uncovered. When you are done, you are going to have one of the most delish seafood lasagna in your kitchen, just like this. Perfect, with that nice crispy golden brown on top, bubbling from the oven. The smell of seafood aromas your entire house, and you will be happy with this recipe. This is one of those seafood recipes that's on a budget and is filled with nothing but crispy flavor on top, honey, and a nice soft juicy succulent flavor on the inside. Now you have to allow it to sit and cool it up, because if you cut it when it's cold, it's going to fall apart. Now when you cut into that goodness, that is what you have. Just let me tell you, nice and juicy and gummy all up on the inside. One of the best seafood recipe you could ever try in your kitchen any time of the year for your family, for your friends. Impress the neighbor, everybody. Just spread the love, share it. Let me know if you like the recipe. Then tell me what you like to have me cooking next in my kitchen. And remember, as always, from my kitchen to your kitchen. Enjoy!